first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. I wanted to pull that up because that is a live look over there in Lincoln City right now, and it looks amazing. So if you're out there on the beach, thanks for doing so, and I'm of course tuning in to Fox 12 Now while you're out there doing that. We do appreciate everybody who joins us. We are live streaming here every weekday, starting around 1 p.m. and then going throughout the afternoon, and we cover a wide range of topics during the show. You can find us at the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel, kptv.com, or the Fox 12 Now tab, or the live stream, or the Fox 12 Oregon apps on whatever platform you're on. So plenty of places. Any one of those are great. Thanks for doing so. Right now, we are talking about an event that's coming up this weekend in part, and an overall campaign from Travel Oregon called the Travel Oregon Mural Trail. And this is a series of murals that are all around the state, showcasing different facets, different places, different locations, different events that happen that are kind of iconic. And certainly this 10th one falls under that category, and that is the Lincoln City Kite Festival. So we're going to talk about the mural. We're going to talk about the festival. Joining us right now, we have Stephanie Hull and Cooper Findling from Explore Lincoln City. And thank you to both of you for being here to talk about this. And obviously the Kite Festival is such an iconic event, as I just mentioned. I mean, it's something that everybody really knows about. And if you've been there, if you've experienced it, you know what we're talking about. But this mural trail is also a pretty interesting way to showcase some of these things happening here in Oregon. And I was hoping, I'm not sure who wants to start first, but just to talk about, explaining a little bit about what the Travel Oregon Mural Trail is and what it means to have this come to Lincoln City.
Sure, I'll dive in. The Oregon Mural Trail is a project of Travel Oregon. It launched about 4 or 5 years ago, and the entire mural trail sprung out of a campaign that Travel Oregon did called Oregon Only Slightly Exaggerated. Very magical campaign. It was animated videos portraying Oregon in this extremely magical way where all sorts of fun things happen, like frogs drink wine and whales fly. And Travel Oregon took that imagery, which lended itself very well to murals, and created a mural trail around the state. There were 9 locations. Now there are 10. Our mural was completed this summer, and it's a still from that campaign celebrating the Lincoln City Kite Festival.
And having those murals, around Oregon, and I like that, Oregon Only Slightly Exaggerated, but then utilizing that to showcase these different places, what do you think it is about the Kite Festival that made it such an important one to add on to this trail and become the 10th location for it?
Well, the imagery is so magical. And in the Kite Festival still, the kites themselves, which always seem to come to life anyway in the sky, are particularly brought to life. You can see that many of them actually look like flying animals. And it's just so beautiful. And we also happen to have the perfect wall on the side of our City Hall building facing 101, just a half a mile from the Kite Festival site. So it all just seemed to come together perfectly, really turned out beautifully, and we couldn't be happier.
And, looking at this from overall, from the state of Oregon, I definitely want to get into the Kite Festival specifically, but looking at it from the tourism standpoint of bringing people in, what's the response been like as far as highlighting the Kite Festival and hearing from people who maybe have experienced it for the first time or are going to experience it for the first time?
Sure. I think that the power of this imagery is so delightful and welcoming and inviting that it really it's very welcoming. And I think also the power of public art is that it is a way to reinvest tourism lodging taxes back into the local community. So public art is for everyone, right? It's for the visitors, it's for the locals, it's for the people passing through, inspires intrigue about what is this Kite Festival all about. And it's just pretty to look at.
Yeah, it is. And I understand it's local artists as well who painted this one. Is that correct?
Yeah, Oregon artists Blaine Fontana and Jeremy Nichols, who had worked on other murals in the Oregon Mural Trail previously. They teamed up and tackled this project. It was amazing how quickly it came together within less than a week, I'd say it was completed, and the reactions have been amazing. We've had so much positive feedback about it.
It is really beautiful. And for location purposes, for people who know Lincoln City, you mentioned that it's the perfect wall. Where is that in Lincoln City?
It is at 801 Southwest Highway 101 in Lincoln City, which is our City Hall building. It's also the side of McKay's Market. You really can't miss it if you're driving through.
Well, looking at bringing it to the Kite Festival, I mean, I'm not sure if that was the original intention, was the Kite Festival, or just something for Lincoln City, but I was wondering how that process went about as far as selecting what it is that you wanted on there. I mean, I understand does stem out of that other campaign as well, but what is it about the Kite Festival that you think is the best representation for Lincoln City for this project?
Well, the Kite Festival is already an iconic event for Lincoln City, which is how Travel Oregon ended up including it in the campaign. I think, it's definitely like our iconic event. And then, of course, how could we not use that beautiful imagery ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely, to take advantage of that and painted, so amazingly on the side of that building. Well, let's talk about specifically the Kite Festival. And I don't know, Stephanie, maybe could you give us a little bit of history of the Kite Festival there in Lincoln City, and all these, just how long this has been going on and what makes it such an iconic event for the coast and Oregon as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. So this fall will actually be Lincoln City's 44th Kite Festival for the fall. And so we have this incredible rich history of celebrating kite flying and kiters from all over the world for 44 years. And so what's really great is that mural location is about a half of a mile quick walk from the grounds. So it really does celebrate the Kite Festival and everything that kind of surrounds the magic around that event. And we're just incredibly lucky to have world-class flyers coming from all over, from Germany, Canada, Australia, California, Oregon, Washington, Pacific Northwest flyers that love coming back time and time and time again to showcase their talents and interact with folks. There's just something incredible about that.
There really is. I mean, even just driving through town when that's going on too, and just seeing all of those kites out there, let alone all these people coming from around the world, as you mentioned. So for those who don't know, when it comes to a kite festival, what can you expect from something like that? Other than, obviously, there's going to be a lot of kites flying there at the coast, but what actually goes into the festival itself?
Well, what a lot of people don't realize, and honestly, what I didn't realize until I became a part of the event, is that these flyers practice all year round in teams and compete all over the place. And you'll see one person kind of as a leader calling out different maneuvers for their team members to fly in sync. And sometimes there's something that's called a mega fly, which is any flyer that wants to come in that's a sponsored flyer, and they'll have one person calling maneuvers, not practiced live, just in perfect sync, which is just phenomenal to watch. And as Kim has mentioned, we also have giant inflatable kites that come in all shapes, sizes, colors, animals, and it just really kind of has a beautiful background and setting to the festival. And we're also lucky to have support from different community members and volunteer groups, from face painting to kite kit making to carnival games to food provided by local Siletz tribal members for purchase. The whole community gets behind these festivals, and it's just a great time. You're going to have a great time no matter what the weather looks like. It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, and if it looks anything like that, it's going to be pretty good to do. But
It's going to be great.
It's Oregon. We're used to anything. So when you talk about the community there getting involved, and I think that's a really interesting aspect too. So when it comes to the Kite Festival, this involves not just residents of Lincoln City, but its surrounding areas, and really bringing everyone together. So can you tell us just a little bit about how important that community interaction and involvement is?
I always say we can't have festivals like this without community support and input and volunteering. And it's one of those things where it takes a village, and we're lucky to be in a place where our community is so supportive, loves these festivals, and just wants to participate. We're just so lucky to have that.
If you were to describe the Lincoln City Kite Festival to someone who has never heard of it before, how would you go about doing that?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say it's a kaleidoscope of colors in the sky, and you'll be able to just kind of see everything exaggerated and, I don't know, experience connections with people with flyers and special moments and unexpected things throughout both days, and interact with flyers. And one thing that's really cool is we have a couple really young flyers. One of them's in college, his brother is in high school, and they came to the festival when they were really young. Somebody put a kite in their hands. Now they're professional flyers that go all over the world, have teammates in Canada, and they fly. Their whole family is bonded by one experience at Lincoln City Kite Festival. And that's just one of the many awesome stories that these festivals bring.
That's really cool. I mean, I didn't know you could be a professional kite flyer, until I learned more about the kite festival, which is a pretty great job to have. It would seem anyway, flying all around the world and flying kites. So that's part of what you get to see there. But then it's not just the professionals too; it's just the ordinary people. I know you can go buy a kite and participate in that as well. So I would imagine that's a big point of it as well, is that everybody can get involved.
Oh, yes, of course. And we always encourage, we talk about all of our local shops like Sea Gulp and Wind Driven. You can buy kites there and experience flying a kite for yourself as well. So definitely.
What else do you think is important, just in general, for people to know about coming to Lincoln City, and how important tourism dollars, whether it's local tourism, Oregonians coming there, people from the Northwest, or even all over the place, how important is that to the economy there on the coast?
Very important. Tourism is the number one economy driver in Lincoln City and most of the Oregon coast. And many of our visitors, a majority, I would say, come from other places in Oregon. So it's really Oregon supporting Oregon, as well as obviously families having an amazing time at the Oregon coast and enjoying our beaches.
For people who do attend this weekend, what is something that you want them to take away from the experience of being in Lincoln City, being at the Kite Festival, and just experiencing everything the coast has to offer right there?
I would say joy. What about you, Kim? I would say I want them to experience joy.
That sounds great to me.
That's a good thing. That's good right there. Anything else that you think is important for people to know? Because I definitely want to let them. We'll certainly talk about when, where, and how, and all of that. But anything else that you think is really important for people to know about this and the mural in general?
We are doing a ribbon cutting Friday at noon for the mural. I'm not sure that we got that in there, but it's at noon. Anyone is welcome. There will be kite flyers at the event, and the artists will be there. Some travel Oregon folks will be there. We'll be kicking off this mural in style and then heading right into the Kite Fest.
And so that's on Friday. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and if you wanted to park at Chinook Winds Casino Resort, they're our partners, and they're actually offering free shuttle service to the mural ribbon cutting and back as well.
Perfect. So you got plenty of parking right there and a free shuttle to it. So that's great. And Chinook Winds right there when you come into town. And that's actually where this camera's at too. I keep pulling it up because I keep wanting to look at that picture because it just looks so amazing right there. But yeah, thank you, to both of you for joining. So again, Friday at noon, that's Friday, the September 6th at noon will be the ribbon cutting ceremony. And then the Kite Festival continues on all weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we also have free shuttle service at Lincoln City Outlets and our Lincoln City Community Center because parking is very limited on site. So we encourage people to park and either walk down or take free shuttle service.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you to both of you for joining us here on Fox 12 Now. Really, really appreciate it. And looking forward to this weekend.
Thank
you so much.
Thanks a lot. And for all of you watching, again, this is Fox 12 Now. We start live streaming here every weekday starting at 1. We go throughout the afternoon and then we cover a wide range of events. Actually, for today, we've got another event we're going to be talking about at 1:30 called a Celebrity Wine and Distilling Festival. And so that's going to be Wine and Spirits Festival, excuse me. That's going to be taking place in Bend, Oregon. So we're going to be talking to Neil Giraldo, who is a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame musician. He'll be joining us there at 1:30, and then at 2 o'clock we'll be talking about some back to school things. So plenty of stuff happening here this afternoon. So wherever you're watching me, you can come right back there and watch live, or you can also watch all of these segments afterwards. So the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel, KPTV.com, or the Fox 12 Oregon app. But thank you all for joining us. We'll take a break. I'll talk to you here in about 15 minutes. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.